My name is Gary the Numbers Guy, and in this video I'm going to explain exactly what's going to happen on the day the mass media tells us the world's going to end on 12/21/2012. And as a numerologist, astrologer, history buff, I've connected the dots. So without any ado, here's the information. First thing you got to do when you look at 12/21/2012 is you got to look at it from a numerologist perspective. And the first thing you do in numerology is you add up the digits. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 adds up to an 11. That number 11 has a lot of meaning when it comes to the people who call themselves the elite, the people who are the puppeteers, the ones who pull the strings. That's why 9/11 happened on the 11th. That's why that's why there was a group called Al Qaeda that was founded on 8/11, 1988, and the two attacks it's known for is 9/11 and 911 days later, exactly what is called M11 in Spain, their version of 9/11, the Madrid train bombings in 2004 that happened on 3/11, 2004. So what we have is an organization, Al Qaeda, formed on the 11th, and the two biggest attacks they're known for happened on the 11th. Let's go a little bit more throughout history with that number 11. The Great War ends. At that time, they thought that was the war to end all wars. We call it World War One, but that day ended on 11/11 at exactly 11 o'clock. Why is that? Now here's another version of doing the numerology. Because whenever it's the 11th and the 29th, like when the stock market dropped on 10/29/1929 that caused the Great Depression, or in Hurricane Katrina, Katrina starts with a K, K is the 11th letter in the alphabet, when it hit on August 29th, 1929. See, those are two ways to get the number 11, on the 11th and 29th. But as we talked about before with the date 12/21/2012, when you add it up completely, it's an 11. And what you're looking at here is the building in Oklahoma City that, that pretty much got blown the hell up by Timothy McVeigh, who was executed on 6/11/2001. Why? Because he was the patsy for this crime, horrendous crime that happened on 4/19/1995. 419/1995 adds up to 38, and 3 and 8 adds up to 11. By the way, the first bomb went off at 9:02 a.m. Again, 11. So what we've established here is there's enough evidence throughout big events throughout history, and believe me, I can go on for hours about this stuff, just about the 11s and the history about it. But there's enough evidence that big events happen on the 11th. So now we have to go deep and we have to understand exactly what the number 11 means. See, the number 11 is the mutation of the male and the female energy, the 1 and the 2. See, the 1 stands for the male, the athletic people, people who are argumentative, people who are very thin and in good shape. Look at the shape of the number. So basically, when you look at the number 1, whether it's males or females, whether they're born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th, or whether their total number adds up to 1, like LeBron James, 12, 30, 1984 adds up to 28, and again reduces down to 1, they are athletes. It doesn't matter if it's women, like Cheryl Swoops, her first name starts with the S, S is the 19th letter. Again, if your name begins with the A, J, the 10th letter, or S, the 19th letter, you're going to have that energy. You're going to notice a lot of women in positions of power have a lot of ones in their birthdays, or they have a lot of their names start with S or A or J, like Jamie. Now, there's a flip side to that coin. Just like the 1 stands for the male energy that's very aggressive, doesn't like to make deals. It's very the alpha dog. Exactly. The 2 stands for the female energy. So just like athletes, whether they're men or women, who have a lot of 1s in their birthdays, a lot of women or men who have the number 2 around them will be very sensitive. They will be very, how can I put this? Um, Very tolerant of others. Because you see, tolerance begins with the T, and yes, that other issue that's been in the media, bullying, begins with the B. See, these are big issues when it comes to the 2 energy, because the 2 energy wants to be a peacemaker at all costs. That is the feminine energy. So basically, you can expect a lot more political correctness. Now, where did political correctness start? It started in the 90s, 80s, but it didn't really take a hold of the nation until the 2000s. Why is that? Because when the 2000s hit, the one got pushed aside, the male energy, and the female energy took over. The two energy. That's why there's been a lot more political correctness since the year 2000. That's why people have been asked to be more tolerant. Tolerant begins with T. They want more of a tribal atmosphere. Again, tribe begins with T, and that's ultimately what communism is all about. So when people want to understand why communism is making them push, it's because we have this hive mind thinking now that's going on. Again, that is the two energy. Now, again, twos are also great diplomats. No matter what you think of the President of the United States, Joe Biden, he was known as a career diplomat when he was in the Senate. He is born on the 20th. This guy, Ron Paul, he wants to bring the troops home. Again, Ron Paul is born on the 20th. That's why. He has that female energy. Now, that doesn't exactly, people aren't put, if you're not putting this together, you will in a second. Now, let me go here for a second. The 11 is the combination of the 1 and the 2 because people who are 11 have a lot of charisma. Like Barack Obama, born 8/4 1961, adds up to 29, 2 and 9 is 11. Like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is born 8/19, 1946. Everything adds up to 38, 3 and 8 is 11. Another guy with a lot of charisma. Tony Blair. He was born 5/6, 1953. Again, it adds up to 11. As a matter of fact, the first woman who was a modern day leader was also an 11. So what I'm trying to tell you is when you see this number 11, it basically tells you it's the mutation of the female and male energy, the masculine and the male. But see, when you do 11 times 11 to reinforce this point, you get 121. Again, what that shows you is 11 is a little bit more masculine than feminine. But see, that's all about the change. And that's exactly what 12, 21, 2012 is all about. Because you see, if you add up the digits, they add up to an 11. So you can expect a big event to happen. But look at the digits very, very closely. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. There's nothing but ones and twos. Remember what we talked about. The 11 so far has been more masculine than feminine, even though it's a combination of both. Because you have the 121, the two ones around the 2. But when 12, 21, 2012 hits, the feminine energy finally takes over. The pendulum has swung. And even though it's going to go back eventually, after 12, 21, 2012, the feminine energy will be in control. So you can expect a new world order. You can expect a tribal atmosphere. You can expect political correctness to take over for the truth. Because that is exactly what the people in positions of power are going to use 12, 21, 2012. Because political correctness does not have to take over for the truth. The truth starts with a T, which is a 2. But the problem is they're using it all in a feminine sense. So when 12, 21, 2012 hits, that's the big secret. That's the genie out of the bottle. The pendulum has swung, and the feminine energy is now in the position of leadership. And the problem with that is very, very simple. Ones are the leaders, not the twos. The natural role is for the one to be the lead energy and for the two to follow. Now everything's going to get mixed up. And that's exactly what the people in positions of power want. Order out of chaos. And that's exactly what they're going to get.